Hello and thanks for joining me. I'm Matthew Rondino with Best Buy Canada's Best Buy blog, and today I'm discussing my PSVR2 tips and tricks guide. If you're looking to get the most out of your PSVR2, here are some tips and tricks to help enhance your experience. I conducted a full review of the PSVR2 back on the blog a few months ago, so if you have a chance, go check that out, both in written copy as well as a video just like this one. Since its release, I picked up plenty of helpful tips that help to improve my experience with the virtual reality platform. In this guide, I'll share my top recommendations for optimizing your setup, ensuring comfort during extended gaming sessions, and sharing lesser known features that will help you get the most out of your PlayStation VR2. Let's dive into the basics of setup and move up to more advanced tips for the platform. Setting up your PSVR2 the right way is crucial for the best gaming experience. This is especially important because the lenses have a more defined sweet spot when it comes to displaying the proper 3D effect. The visuals from the PlayStation VR2 look stunning, so you want to be sure that everything is set up correctly to get the full effect. Along with adjusting the headset, it's also important to play in a well-lit room. This helps the camera tracking pick up your movement more accurately. Let's look at some of the steps to get up and running with the PSVR2. Sony does provide plenty of details when it comes to these steps with their setup documents included with the device, and as always, be sure to review the manufacturer's instructions for safety warnings before use. But when it comes to getting up and running, you first want to update your PlayStation 5 to the latest firmware. This will ensure compatibility with the PSVR2 and avoid any technical snags along the way. Next, of course, you want to unpack and connect the PSVR2 headset. So you want to plug in everything, plug it in with the USB-C cable in front of the PlayStation 5 console, and make sure the connections are secure and that the cable has enough slack for you to move around comfortably during gameplay. Next, you want to adjust the PSVR2 to your head and sight lines. So when prompted in the setup process, you're going to put on the headset and adjust the headband and visor until it fits comfortably and securely. There are three main points of adjustment, which I'll discuss next. All right, so because I talked about three central points of contact before on the PlayStation VR. So one of the first here is the adjustment slider. So you push this in and it shuttles this forward. This dial here, as you roll it back and forth, it will adjust the actual centering of your eye line. And then finally here, pressing this will slide open and close. And then once it's on your head, you can turn this dial and it will further tighten the PSVR2 on your head. So that's the whole device. Now we're ready to pop on the actual headset and begin to calibrate it to get the optimal performance out of it. Once again, there will be some on-screen prompts to calibrate the PSVR2, which include adjusting the visor, headband, and setting up your eye to eye distance and defining your play area. The process to define your play area is very cool as it scans your entire room and maps out a safe area. As the setup continues here, just a few reminders in terms of the PSVR2 and getting it at its optimal performance. You want to play in a well-lit room. So in the past with the PSVR1, darkness was a good thing, but now with the PSVR2, the tracking system really depends on proper lighting to perform at its best. You also don't want to be necessarily playing outdoors or having, playing directly under a skylight. There can be such a thing as too much light, but natural room lighting is very important. It's also important to mention that even after doing this initial setup and eye calibration, after a few uses of the PSVR2, it is very important to go back and recalibrate the lenses. To do so, just follow these steps. Double tap the PlayStation button on the controller and select Adjust Visibility from the Quick Settings menu, and then it'll walk you through the tutorial all over again. It might seem like an excessive step, but it's an important one just to make sure that you're getting the very best out of the PSVR2 during all your playtime. After all this initial setup, one of the most important tips I can offer is using pass-through mode effectively. This allows you to press a button and see your real-world surroundings without removing the headset. It saves so much time and can really help you avoid any trips and falls if used correctly. To access this, you'll want to use the button on the bottom of your PSVR2's viewfinder. It's the button here on the left-hand side, your right, when you're wearing the headset that has the circular pattern on it. Press it and it'll give you a one-click access to the headset's pass-through view, letting you see things around you in real time. Again, I wouldn't recommend walking around using pass-through mode, but say, for example, if there's something happening in the room and it requires your immediate attention, but you don't need to take off the entire headset, this is a great way to save some time and just get a quick look at your real world surroundings. Another quick tip is the fact that you can play your PSVR2 without a TV connected. So the PSVR2 projects or mirrors what you see onto your connected television, but it doesn't require a TV to function. You will need a TV for initial setup, but the hardware can function with the TV completely turned off or even having the HDMI connection completely disconnected. This is a great little extra bonus, especially if you're in a household and you want to share your TV screen. Someone else wants the TV for another use. They can have full access to it while you continue on with your virtual reality adventures. On the topic of TV screens and big screen TVs, the PSVR2 can also double as a new way to play standard PS5 games with cinematic mode. This simulates a massive screen within your field of view at 120 Hz HDR, which is amazing. The image quality is fantastic, and it's a really cool way to experience games like Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, or The Last of Us Part 1. To access this feature through the PS5's menu, you can navigate to Settings, Accessories, PlayStation VR2 Cinematic Mode, and you can make some adjustments and then select video output for cinematic mode. I really hope some of these tips and tricks help you get the most out of your PSVR2. The platform itself offers a really fun, immersive VR experience, and with these tips, I'm hoping that you'll get even more out of the headset if you follow some of these tips and tricks. I'm Matthew Rondino with Best Buy Canada's Best Buy blog. Hope you enjoy your PSVR2. Game on!